Right now, you are watching YouTube, and I want to tell you, you probably should not. Not because this video is irrelevant, not because YouTube is evil, but because of what the professor and author Carl Newport discovered. His book, Digital Minimalism, is one of the rare reads that genuinely changes how you see your mobile phones, your applications, or your entire digital existence. Today I'm going to share 3 ideas from that book that every person, especially of this generation, needs to hear. And yes, I do see the irony of sharing that here on YouTube. Newport would probably smile on that. Let's get into the video. Number 1. Technology is not neutral. Here is something most people never stop and pause to ask this. Why did they build this? When you install some application onto your phone without paying anything outwardly, like Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube for that matter, do you really think the company that has spent billions of dollars in building that tool is providing you for free just as a tool for you to use? Newport says absolutely not. These platforms are engineered up to pixel level to keep you hooked onto those wide screens. He talks in detail about how these companies hire behavioral psychologists exactly the way Silicon Valley hired them to build very addictive slot machines. Every like, every notification, every autoplay feature that you have in your phone is not by accident. It is built by excessive research with billions of dollars of funding by these companies. Newport makes a strong point here by proving how technology or social media applications are not neutral. He says, hammer is neutral. You pick it up when you need it, and you put it down when you don't need it. But the social media applications, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, these are designed to never let you go. And more the time you spend on those applications, that is exactly what those companies hire those behavioral psychologists or attention engineers for. Now, Carl Newport says you cannot beat these applications merely by willpower. You need a philosophy, and that's exactly what this book is all about. Idea 2. Digital clutter is costing you more than you think. Most of us justify using these applications by saying, Facebook helps me connected with my friends. YouTube has got a very good set of tutorials, or Twitter keeps me informed about what's happening around. Accepting that argument even just for a second, then my question from you would be, and that Carl Newport asks from readers, at what cost? At what cost you are getting those benefits? What is the cost of spending 3 hours every day on short form content scrolling? Fractured attention, inability to sit with hard problem for more than 5 minutes, anxiety when your phone is not nearby, a deep creeping sense of depravity that you watch other people living their life but yours just passes by. Newport believes that each of us should think of these applications exactly like how the investors think of their investments. An investor does not make any investment or purchase something just because it has got some value, but rather he would compare the cost he is paying for, whether the value or the worth being provided by that asset is more than the cost that I'm paying, equivalent to that cost, or far below than the cost being paid for it. Similarly, you should ask yourself, this application, this social media platform, is this the best investment of my time and attention? Here is the question that Carl Newport wants you to ask yourself. What have you given up by accommodating these social media platforms into your life? What have you stopped reading? Who you have stopped calling and meeting? What skill have you stopped building? Now, digital minimalism is not about becoming instantly a monk and deleting all social media applications. It is rather intentional. It is rather an honest audit of your time and attention. Now, after having audited the costs and benefits of these social media applications, if you conclude that you need those, keep those. If you think you can curb the time you spend on those, do necessary steps. Idea 3: solitude is a superpower that you have lost. I love this idea from this book, what Newport calls solitude deprivation crisis. Now, mind you, according to Newport, solitude is not spending time alone, but actually it is time spent free from input from others. Think about your day. When was the last time you were totally alone in solitude, not listening to podcasts, not scrolling through your social media, not watching any video whatsoever? Complete solitude, just thinking alone with your thoughts. For most people, that moment never comes in today's era, because every time we are alone, we never hesitate picking our phone out of our pockets. We wake up and we check our phones. We exercise with our earbuds on. We eat while watching something. We fall asleep to Netflix. Our minds are never ever allowed to be quiet to think. Newport has quoted various historical figures that ruthlessly defended or protected their time alone. People like Lincoln and Einstein would never compromise on their time brackets of solitude and loneliness, because they knew this is where the ideas that changed the world came from. This is where you exactly identify who you are and what you want out of life. But unfortunately, we have outsourced all of that to content, and the cost of that is enormous. Newport believes that anxiety, depression, and rest of the social diseases that we are facing these days are all a result of our inability to sit with our thoughts, sitting alone and thinking. Now, his prescription is simple but not radical. Take long walks without your phone. Leave the car ride silent. Sit with your morning coffee before you touch any screen. Let your mind wander and let it be bored. Boredom, let me remind you, is not some problem that you need to fix immediately. It's a process, it's a cycle. It might be painful, just like the exercise while you are building muscles. It might be painful, but it is an asset. In this era of technology, social media applications all across are there to steal this asset from you. Do not let that happen. Be intentional about being bored, sitting alone, spending time with your thoughts. And if you are someone who is possessing this weapon of being bored and being in solitude and thinking about a problem, you will be far, far ahead than many of your counterparts in your company, in your college, in whatever space you are. So here is the irony we have to sit with. I just asked you a few minutes for watching a video on YouTube why you should not watch YouTube videos. And Newport, I think, would be okay with that, because his argument is not all technology is bad, but unintentional scrolling is harmful and not good. His argument is you should be the one in control, not the algorithm, not the notification, not the autoplay, but you. Now here is your challenge for the week. Pick 1 hour, any hour of the day, no matter what, where you are devoid of any devices. Your phone is in other room and you are sitting alone with your thoughts in a room, not consuming any content, not listening to any podcast, not scrolling any social media. And just start noticing how your mind reacts to that. That 1 hour of solitude and loneliness will teach you what years of scrolling might not. If this video gave you something to think, please give this video a like. It truly helps the channel to grow. Subscribe if you want more content about books like this one. And drop a comment below for social accountability. What one application can you cut off from your life right now? I'll see you in the next one. Go put your phone down.